George Barrow.
Hi.
Welcome to FrightFest.
So glad to be here.
Have you ever been to London before, or
I have been to London.
Have
yeah.
you? When? Doing what?
I like the last time I was here. I think was 2019.
Okay.
Yeah, I was here for the holidays. I think I came here. I was here for New Year's.
Oh, okay.
New Year's in London. It was very fun.
So you kind of know London a little bit anyway, yeah?
Yeah.
Do you like it?
I love it. Yeah, I love it.
Because whereabouts do you live in the States? Where
Like Los Angeles,
LA.
and also like I sometimes live in Tennessee too, in like a little house like in a field by the woods.
Field by the woods?
Yeah, like it's very like horror movie vibes like out there. But yeah.
And George is here with his incredible film, The Blue Rose, which is world premiering this evening at FrightFest. How are you feeling, George? How are you feeling about the premiere?
I'm really I'm scared, but I'm also excited. But I just feel like I'm feeling all of like the normal things that like
all the
most
emotions
people
all at once.
are feeling. I did have a nightmare the other night though.
Oh no!
About it.
What happened?
I lost my voice.
What?
And
Just as we were going to go
talk.
on stage?
Yeah, and I couldn't talk during like the Q&A.
Maybe it was a premonition.
Please don't say that. I lost my voice right before the Q&A, and then once the credits started, like the majority of the audience like left during the credits, and then there were only like 3 people left at the Q&A.
Just 3?
Yeah.
That would be bad.
It was rough. It was a rough nightmare.
As soon as you sent through the Blue Rose through the Film Freeway submission services, I watched it and absolutely fell in love with the film. So immediately we got hold of you and said, George, we'd love you to come to FrightFest.
Like very quickly, like almost like 48 hours.
I know.
Felt like I heard. Yeah.
We work
like
quickly
insane. Yeah.
when we love something.
Yeah.
We really do. Now, I could talk about the film, but I'd like you to say something about the film in a non-kind of spoilery way. What can the audience expect, not just tonight, but in the future from the Blue Rose?
The Blue Rose is kind of like a exploration into the sort of like dark underbelly of like early 1950s Hollywood, and sort of the strange happenings going on there. And it follows these 2 very, very young detectives who are trying to solve a mystery, and they kind of get swooped up in all of that kind of dark, scary, weird stuff going on behind the scenes in Hollywood.
And I think you beautifully capture the 50s era. And it's I kind of likened it to 2 of my favourite directors, John Waters and David Lynch. It's very much in that kind of wheelhouse.
Yeah.
And also very similar to a movie that we screened a few years ago called The Love Witch, which had that same kind of retro but fresh vibe.
Yeah.
So is there any Waters that you particularly love? Is there any Lynch?
Yeah, well, I mean, The Love Witch, particularly inspired this film. So, I think my, 3, visual, things that I, based the film on was Anna Biller's The Love Witch, Blue Velvet, David Lynch, and Ryan Murphy's Netflix series Ratched. It was the 3 of those, and I kind of used those as a guide for how I wanted the film to look. But yeah, favorite Lynch movies, obviously love Blue Velvet, love Inland Empire and Eraserhead. John Waters, actually, I own Pink Flamingos on VHS.
Nice.
And I actually have not been able to sit through the whole thing.
Okay.
It kind of makes my stomach churn a little bit.
Of course.
I think
that was probably the desire.
I know. I think I make it to the chicken scene, and then I'm I have to turn it off. I can't keep watching it. But yeah.
Now this is your very first feature, and my goodness, what an achievement and what an ambitious first feature for somebody so young. You've just turned 18, haven't you? I think. Is it 18?
Yeah.
Wow.
Not just, but I haven't just turned 18, but
But it was a couple of weeks ago, yeah?
A couple weeks ago, a couple days ago.
So you're only just allowed to see your own film because obviously it's an 18.
That's true.
blanket 18 for the Fright Fest.
Yes.
So thank goodness you weren't 17.
True.
Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to let you in.
I know.
To see your
I
own
would have
film.
found.
And that has happened before.
I'm just saying.
Amazing.
Would have snuck in.
You like sneaked in at the back.
Yeah,
no, you can't do that.
Don't do that.
So, why undertake such an ambitious project? Why? I mean, why not? But
Yeah.
what was it about you that thought, right, my first feature, I'm going to make it tricky for myself. I'm not going to do a contemporary LA set story. I'm going to make this, the cars,
And I'm also
the
gonna
set design and stuff is absolutely stunning.
And I'm also gonna act in it too.
And act in it, yeah, you've got that as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't know. I think that I knew I wanted to make a movie that was not in sort of a generally achievable world. I didn't want the world of the film to look like our world, or a film just stepping outside and looking into society, our society, our reality. I wanted it. I knew if I wanted to make a film, I wanted it to be heavily stylized, because I just love watching films like that, and I love escapism in film and television, and so yeah, I knew I wanted it to have a very distinct, crisp 50s look to it, but also we're bending time a little bit, and fashion and music, and it's kind of a mishmash of different eras, but mostly primarily the 50s. And the main reason that I did it was, or the main reason that I even felt like I could make a film with a heavy emphasis on aesthetic and also directing it and starring in it and writing it was this. There's a singer-songwriter named Melanie Martinez, and she made a musical horror film called K through 12, and it was set in a weird fantastical school, and it had a very similar color palette to my film, and she wrote it and she directed it and she was in it, and I saw that and I was like, she can do it, I can do it. I was like, anybody can do it, really, if you wanted to try. And so I tried and I did it, and now we're at FrightFest. So
what was the most difficult aspect of production for you? What?
I think maybe trying to I don't know anything about cameras. I don't know anything about cameras. I don't know anything about lenses, aspect ratios. Nothing.
Right.
I know how to direct a scene and talk to actors and work with actors and create the visual environment and know what kind of shots I want. But I don't know anything about the logistics of cameras.
Sure.
And so.
So did you get a team around you? Have you got
Yeah,
advisors
I
or
had.
friends?
Yeah. Well, I mean, our DP Blaine Dunkley was incredible.
He looks beautiful.
He did a wonderful job, and the reason that I kind of wanted to go with him was he has done a lot of music videos, and I didn't really want the film to feel like an indie film, and I kind of wanted it to feel as stylized as a music video, because music videos are quite stylized, and this is a very stylized film, so I wanted to have a DP that understood that, and Blaine did, and he's a whiz with the camera, and I just had to trust him, and I'm glad I did, because he did a beautiful job.
And take us through the casting.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Obviously you.
Obviously me.
How did you cast yourself?
I looked in the mirror.
Looked in the mirror and went,
and
yes,
I read the
that's me.
lines, and I was like, yes. There actually was a time where I was like, maybe I shouldn't play Dalton.
Do you think it would have been easier for you if you hadn't taken that role?
I don't know, because
or indeed role.
I wrote it for myself, so I feel like if I did cast somebody, I would have just been like,
yeah,
I don't know, I don't know, but yeah, it was weird, kind of directing myself and being an actor but also a director. It was just it was weird, but I had a good time. But in regards to like the rest of the cast,
And the lead actress is great, isn't she?
Olivia Welch.
Yes.
Yeah.
How did you? Was she your friend or?
No, Olivia. We had like a list of people, and we were like narrowing it down, and we both had certain qualities that we wanted.
She's great in it as well. And I think your partnership in it works really, really well. And of course, you've got a cameo from Twin Peaks, etc. veteran Ray Wise.
Yes.
How did you get him? Did you just call and say, we'd like to be in a film? Sent the script and like...
Yeah,
It's as easy as
yeah.
that?
He read the script and he loved it, and he like came to set one day, like a day that he wasn't even working, and he came and I showed him some shots, and he really liked them, and
That's
I
really
was
cool.
like, oh. And then the next day was his day, and we like shot all of his coverage, and
So when did you
had a great
start? Because flipping back, which blew my mind, you directed your first stage musical when you were 8.
yeah, yeah.
Isn't that quite young?
Yeah. Well, can I tell a funny
And what was it
story
like,
about that?
and what was it called?
Can I tell?
Of course you can.
okay.
Yeah.
So I was 8, and I like, this is so embarrassing. I like directed like a fully like illegal production of Wicked.
Right. Like a bootleg.
Like a bootleg production of Wicked when I was 8, like with entire. It was like kids and like teenagers, and I was directing it, and somehow the composer of Wicked found out about it. Stephen Schwartz found out about it.
Right.
Stephen, if you're watching this, I'll never forgive you for what you did to an 8-year-old, but I got sent a cease and desist letter from Stephen Schwartz and Universal, and they said, stop. They were like, you can't do this anymore. An 8-year-old. And they like stopped me. Like we weren't selling tickets for it. Like we were like running like one night. Like it was like,
How the hell?
I don't know. Anyway, but then in 24 hours, I turned around and I wrote a musical in 24 hours, and it was a jukebox musical that took songs from other musicals, and like we wove a story around it, and like that was it. Yeah.
Wow.
And then we like put it up like a week later. We'd been like rehearsing Wicked for like months, and then like the week before we were supposed to open, we like rehearsed an entirely new musical that I wrote in literally a day, and then
Brilliant.
yeah.
Brilliant.
It was just crazy.
Would you ever consider directing a full-bore or full-blown musical feature?
Absolutely.
Yeah, with singing, because
100%.
there are songs etc.
There are songs in
Yeah,
Blu-rays.
some great songs.
I'm a huge fan of like movie musicals and also like horror musicals. Like I love Repo, the genetic opera.
Yes, which we showed at FrightFest many
One
years
of my
ago.
all-time favorite movies. Like I love
And Phantom of the Paradise. Okay.
Phantom of the Paradise. I love this movie called Stage Fright.
Yeah.
And then also just like other musical films, like Moulin Rouge is like my favorite movie. And
Yes.
so yeah, I would love to like do a musical.
Now, also the Blue Roses. Let's address the gender politic of the piece. Tell us about that.
Yeah,
Tell
well,
us
I mean,
about that.
it's just kind of like, it's very, it's kind of set in like a quasi 50s, and it's like not, it's like a male and female detective, and like, you know, Detective Lilly, played by Olivia Welch, she's the one driving the car, and we're driving like a pink Thunderbird, and you know, the majority of the characters are women, and the story really focuses on women, and also like the detectives are both queer. Lilly is a lesbian, and Dalton's got his own shit to figure out. But yeah, they're both, you know, there's like some gender bending vibes to I think the whole film, kind of flipping what you would usually think like the 50s is kind of on its head a little bit. I think that's really cool and fun. So
what's next for you? Are you going to stay within the genre? Because this is very much a genre bending picture, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not horror, it's not science fiction, it's not fantasy.
Yeah.
It's a kind of a blancmange, isn't it, of stuff?
Good question. I have a script for my second film that I would like to do. And it's very, like, the themes are similar to Blue Rose, but it's like very tonally different, and it takes place in like a completely different part of America. Like, imagine Hollywood, California, and then think of like whatever the total opposite of that would be. That is the setting of like the second film.
I love it.
That I want to do.
I love it. And would you ever think, or are you considering doing like a sequel to the Blue Rose?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Would you?
There's a prequel. There's a prequel, and then there's a sequel. We're building a cinematic universe.
So you could go like maybe 40s and maybe 60s.
Yeah. So
and then 70s.
Well, no, it's a trilogy.
Oh, it's a trilogy.
You got it.
Very specific.
Yeah. So
Very specific.
Blue Rose is like supposed to be 53, and then Blue Rose prequel is 47, and then Blue Rose sequel is 65.
Oh my goodness.
So I've like we've mapped it out.
And with the two same central characters.
No.
Ah, well,
No.
I'm not going to push you because that would be
I'm not gonna tell you.
going too much spoiler territory.
Yeah.
My goodness, at 8, directing your stage musical. At 18, or probably actually less. I mean, it's now 18. When did you start the film? Like last year, 2 years ago?
Well, I wrote it in 2020, like summer 2020. So I was like 15 when I wrote it.
Bloody hell!
Yeah.
Man. Wow. So, where do you see yourself in 10 years? So we've done the 8, we've done the 18. Are you going to be ruling the world? Or managing or running Disney, hopefully paying the actors and the writers correctly, yeah?
I would if I could. Yeah, I mean, 10 years. I don't know. I really want to act more. Like, I would love to, like, just, like, act.
Is that your calling more than directing then, you think?
No. But I think they're both pretty, like, equal for me. I just have, like, a really, really strong desire to, like, help somebody else's vision, like, come to life, like, as an actor. Like, I just want to, like, do that job for somebody because, like, I know, like, how important, like, that is for a director is, like, to have, like, an eager actor, and I'm, like, just, like, really eager to, like, transform into, like, another role.
Just like to say from the bottom of our dark hearts of cinema, thank you so much for coming, George. You've been a brilliant guest all weekend.
Thank you.
Is there anything you'd like to say finally?
No.
Okay. The perfect ending. Was that okay? Sorry?